Okay, bud, let's try this one more time. I don't know what happened to our sound. It just went away. Oh, that's such a good boy. That's such a good boy, Mr. Milk Dud. Hi, welcome to Storytime with Shelly and the Shelter Animals. Oh wait, gotta start over. Hold on. Hi, welcome to Storytime with Shelly and the Shelter Animals. I'm Shelly, and this sweet boy is Milk Dud, and Milk Dud and I are reading this awesome book, Belly Rubbins for Bubbins by Jason Krause today. And you can get your very own copy of this awesome book at the link in the bio, so check that out. So you ready to get started? You ready? Okay. Belly Rubbins for Bubbins. There once was a puppy named Bubbins. All he wanted was belly rubbins. He grew up in a house where his owners were mean. He barely ate and was never kept clean. Bubbins did tricks, never barked, and he behaved each day. But when he'd roll over for belly rubbins, they'd shoo him away. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." To the corner, they said, where he sat quiet and sad, no one rubbing his belly, though he hadn't been bad. Bubbins laid on the hard floor, and he cried and cried until his owner pointed and yelled, "Hey, get outside." But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Just like you, Milk Dud. Outside in the yard and behind a tall fence, he had many tough experiences which to him didn't make sense. Bubbins lived outside for nearly 10 years, but somehow stayed loving despite all his fears. Every day he told himself that he would be okay. Even in these hard times, he would find a way to play. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Lonely and forgotten was the 10-year-old Bubbins, no one to love him or give him belly rubbins. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." One sunny morning, Bubbins awoke to find his gate left open. He'd never been outside the yard before, but his spirit was unbroken. He barked "Adios" to the only place he had ever known. Smiling wide, he peed on the fence and was free to roam. Look at him. He's leaving. Where do you think he's going? Walking down the street, people to the left and the right, a nice man saw Bubbins and decided to treat him right. "Hey there, little buddy, you've got no parents or collar. I'm going to take you to the shelter, so please don't holler." Bubbins jumped in the big green truck and the nice man drove away. He said, "I'm taking you somewhere you might get a loving family one day." Look at him in the truck. Yeah? At the shelter, a very thankful Bubbins lived for nearly a year. People passing by the proud old dog with Bubbins shedding only a tear. But Bubbins always believed and continued to say, "I'm going to get a loving family one day." Bubbins never gave up, and one day a young couple appeared. A woman with a friendly smile and a big man with a beard. The woman turned to the man and said with a sigh, "I can't help but feel bad for this poor little guy. He's been through so much, and still, look at that happy face. He deserves a home. Let's get him out of this place." Bubbins jumped to his feet as the door swung open, tail wagging so fast, he was finally chosen. He knew deep down in his heart that he was finally okay because he'd been adopted by a loving family today. As he left the shelter, he thought of all his pals. They all deserved homes, even the ones with the scowls. As he looked back at the shelter, he saw all the volunteers gathered. Bubbins loved them so much because they showed him that his life mattered. Bubbins' tongue flapped out the window the entire ride. The man and woman smiled and looked on with great pride. Arriving at his new home, Bubbins ran through the door. The first thing he saw were many new toys on the floor. Look at all those toys. A new family to show love. They named him Bubbins. He rolled on his back and they gave him belly rubbins. The end. Did you love that story, Milk Dud? Well, I love that. Milk Dud did too, and we hope you guys at home enjoyed it. And we hope you'll tune in next week on Storytime with Shelly and the Shelter Animals. Okay, let's go see if the audio worked. Because if the audio didn't work, it's going to be really annoying and I don't know what to do. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Can you fix it for me? Okay.